Hey guys, it's Samantha from the Stable Network, and it's going to either be part 2 or 3 of the LeBron James, the Portland, Oregon attacks, and Tamir Rice case. Well, the case is kind of over, but not really. So let's start with, so we're going to go on and continue with Tamir Rice. The last video got a little too long, so I decided I wanted to divide those videos up because I do like to keep my videos at about 25 to 30 minutes. I don't know, I feel like you can lose people's attention if you talk too long. Me personally, I don't mind listening to like hour-long videos because I just have that kind of time because I work from home. I run my businesses from home. So I'm able to sit there and just kind of listen to the videos in the background while I work. But I know other people don't have that kind of time, so I try to keep my videos under 30 minutes. So we're going to look at Tamir Rice and what's going on. I want to keep my eye on this and the updates of it. So we found out, if you don't know about Tamir Rice was a 12-year-old who was shot and killed by police officers after someone contacted the police. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry, because I have something I'm looking at. Somebody contacted the police and told them that someone was at the park with a gun, and they were concerned about that person being at the park with a gun. So police showed up and literally within seconds shot Tamir Rice. Did not even give him a chance to, I don't know, like to even explain himself. They didn't even try to talk him into surrendering the weapon, and the weapon was not even a real gun. It was a fake. It was a BB gun. Not to my knowledge. It was either a BB gun or just like a play gun. So let's read this story. Let's see here. So we're starting with Tamir Rice shooting pro. 1 officer fired, 1 suspended. And they're showing the video here. I chances they were going to show some footage of what happened. And they kind of rolled up on this young 12-year-old. Okay, they're not. So let's pause this. So Timothy Loman, the Cleveland police officer who fatally shot 12-year-old Tamir Rice in 2014, was fired Tuesday, not for the shooting, but because investigators found he wasn't truthful about his employment history when he applied for the job, officials said. So he didn't even get fired for killing a 12-year-old. Welcome to America. He got fired for like something completely different. The officer who was with Loman, Frank Garnback, will be suspended for 10 days because he violated tactical rules relating to how he drove to the scene that day, the city's public safety director and the police chief said. An Ohio grand jury declined to criminally charge the officers in 2015 because they're racist. Of course, the article's not saying this. I'm saying it. They're racist. They welcome to white supremacy. They will always make sure they win. It is alive and well and operating in every piece of the fabric of what is America with 3 Ks. None of the rule violations announced by Public Safety Director Michael McGrath and Chief Calvin Williams directly related to Loman shooting Rice outside a recreation center as the boy held a toy gun in November 22nd, 2014. Shoot to killing someone within seconds of arriving, that is a violation. Like, I don't know what the hell their rules are, but that needs to be fucking updated and put in the books. Like, that's a violation. You should not be. How could they have even really fully assess the scene in that time period? And he's holding a fake gun. Like, you really feared for your life? Like, well, how about you don't, like this one, I want to say it was a black police officer or black woman who said, like, I mean, why would you roll up that close to the suspect if you're so concerned and fear for your life? Why not stop back like 10 feet or something and talk him down or something? I mean, I'm sure, I didn't see anyone that's around him. So you couldn't have thought that you're so in danger. I've seen them do more with old white, fat white guys who have real guns than they gave this benefit of the doubt to this 12-year-old. I'm pissed. So it says, after over 2 years of investigation by our agency, the county prosecutor's office, and the sheriff's department, I think we've come to what we would consider a fair conclusion to this process. Of course you do, because you're white and you're racist, Williams said. Rice's mother called the actions against Loman and Garnback deeply disappointing. I am relieved Loman has been fired because he should never have been a police officer in the first place, but he should have been fired for shooting my son in less than 1 second, not just for lying on his application. A statement from Samaria Rice read. And Garnback should be fired too for his role in pulling up too close to Tamir. Samaria Rice, I agree. Samaria Rice said, as we continue to grieve for Tamir, I hope this is a call for all of us to build stronger communities together. Yes, black people need to unite. That's what she means. We need to fucking unite and just fuck white people and shop at our own businesses, take care of each other, start our own schools. Like this is just, I mean, it's like how many times does one race have to display their hatred towards another race for us to get the fucking picture? And this is why I created this show, this network, because I'm not here to be politically correct. Like they had to be politically correct because they're scared or whatever, but I'm going to say what everyone's really thinking. And this is bullshit. You know, it's like we do need to unite and separate ourselves from our oppressors and our enemies. So here's his police union files action. Grievances were filed on behalf of Loman and Garnback. Cleveland Police Patrolmen's Association President Stephen Lumen told reporters. Lumen said they had been prepared in anticipation of disciplinary action against the two officers. This is a politically motivated witch hunt, Lumen said. He added that he thinks there is no proof that Lumen lied on his application, and even if he did, he shouldn't have been fired. We had him prepared, Lumen said. There is no question in my mind that we're going to get Tim Lumen's job back. The death of Rice, who was African American, came to exemplify the kind of complaints about excessive use of police force that have defined the Black Lives Matter movement. The city settled a wrongful death lawsuit last year with the Rice family for $6 million. Loman 2013 job application. Oh, goodness, this lady. She just got off as well. I forgot her name, Betsy or something. Loman's firing took effect Tuesday morning, and Garnback's suspension begins Wednesday. The punishment stems from an internal investigation that resumed in earnest in January 2016 after the grand jury declined to charge the officers. Loman applied to join Cleveland's police force in 2013 after resigning from the police department in the suburb of Independence and after failing a written exam while applying for a job with police in Maple Heights. But with the Internal Revenue Panel investigating the Rice shooting, found he lied or omitted crucial information in his application's personal history statement, city officials said. The review found, according to a letter from McGrath to Loman, Loman failed to say that independent police would have fired him had he not resigned. Loman was accused in Independence of, among other things, failing to secure his firearm and being insubordinate and untruthful to a superior officer. He also was sent home for a day when he had an emotional breakdown during a state qualification course. Loman indicated that his reason for leaving Independence Police was that he resigned for personal reasons. He answered no when asked whether he received any disciplinary actions. He answered falsely when asked whether any other department disqualified him for employment, the review found. The report also says, I don't know who disqualified him for employment. Okay, so after failing a written exam while applying for a job. Okay, so he failed the exam, so I guess that's considered disqualifying him for employment. The report also says, in addition, the Independence Police Department concluded that you were emotional and immature and possessed an inability to emotionally function. Garnback faulted for driving up to Rice. In a disciplinary letter, McGrath told Garnback that he should not have driven his patrol car onto the grass at the park where Rice was sitting at a picnic table. You did not employ proper tactics when you failed to stop your zone car immediately upon entering Cadell Park, he wrote. McGrath also admonished Garnback for not waiting for another car as is standard practice on a gun call. This was in light of the fact that it was not an active shooter call, and when Garnback drove up on the scene, Rice was at the table and did not present any immediate threats. So here's the baby right here. Look how close they are to him. Like, what the fuck? Is this an action movie? Like, why are you rolling up on people like that? Loman shot Rice, who was holding a toy replica pistol, after a witness, who again was probably racist, called 911 to report that someone was brandishing a gun in a park. And you couldn't tell that was a child? Like, really? Just because white folks is weak and looking crazy, don't think 12-year-olds look like men. Like, that doesn't, no. They don't. They don't look like men. They're clearly children. Just like your white kid would look like a 12-year-old kid. My 12-year-old kid would look like a kid. It doesn't matter because he's black. They're just so fucking scared and hateful of everything. The caller noted that the person was probably a juvenile. See, okay, so they did say this, and that the gun was probably fake, records show. So if you think that, then why are you calling? But a dispatcher did not share the qualifiers with the responding officers, Lohman said. And Lohman and officers Lohman and Garnback. So, okay, so the dispatcher didn't tell, so maybe they need to be fired too for not giving all the details. Video of the incident shows Lohman, then a trainee, oh Lord, arriving in the squad car driven by Garnback. The car moves close to Rice, and less than 2 seconds after the vehicle arrives, Lohman shoots the boy. So you have this mentally retarded idiot who's a trainee rolling up in this car like they're in, well, Dukes of Hazzard, just rolling up on grass, like fucking acting like they're these. This reminds me of that one incident where the black children were at this pool in Texas, this pool party, I think. And these cops came through, and one cop was rolling across the grass. Like, what are you doing? Like, ew. Like, they're trying to be power. They're so fucking, like, afraid of black people. So when they have a little bit of power, they just overdo it. Like, chill the fuck out. So it's a video of the incident shows Lohman, then a trainee, arriving in a squad car driven by Garnback, who just rolled up on grass, apparently. The car moves close to Rice, and less than 2 seconds after the vehicle arrives, Lohman shoots the boy. Lohman and Garnback both said in written statements dated November 2015 they thought Rice was pulling out a gun from his waistband. Well, if your ass wasn't on the fucking grass right behind him, you wouldn't be fearing for your motherfucking life. You're scared of everything, your little scary ass. Maybe you shouldn't be a cop. 2 months ago, the dispatcher who relayed the report to officers, Constance Hollinger, was suspended for 8 days without pay for failing to mention those details. Okay, well, they did a little something. I don't know if that's enough. A death came out of this situation, but they did something. So that is the update on Tamir Rice. And just wanted to keep you guys updated because I do think it's important to never forget these stories. So I just think it's important for us to stay up and stay woke, and I don't care like how long ago it was. We had to remember our brothers and sisters all across the globe, our black brothers and sisters across the globe. We are a family, and this channel is for black people. So if you're not black and you're watching this, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking only to black people. When I say, my race or my family, my brothers and sisters, this is for us and black people. I mean, when I say us. So I just wanted to see if there was any updates with Sandra Bland. This case just really, really bothered me. And they always get money. And I finally kind of understand that because I didn't understand the money part. But my thing is, okay, so you're gonna settle. You didn't find that the cops did anything illegal. Like say if this really happened the way they claim it happened, which we know it didn't. But let's play the game for a second. So say that she really killed herself with a sheet or something. She put it up and was able to manage to hang and kill herself. Which obviously we're gonna really know that this is, if you're woke, it's a modern day lynching. They killed her. But like this stuff is symbolic, and you have to pay attention to these symbols, people. Like this is extremely important. And again, like I said, this channel is for black people, so I'm talking to black people. The rest of you can pay attention if you plan on helping and being somewhat of an ally and helping to fight against what, your ancestors have done, or what they're doing right now, what your race is doing right now to black people unjustly. But primarily, it's not even primarily, I'm mainly talking to black people. I'm just talking to black people, and everyone else you can learn, you can not learn, you can be a troll. I really could care less. So Sandra Bland's family settles for $1.9 million in wrongful death suit. So the wrongful death suit is basically happens if they felt like the cops were not doing their jobs properly. Like they should have been watching her a little bit more. So it's like they're admitting, instead of admitting we murdered her, because they did. Instead, they are just admitting maybe we should have took the sheets out of her room if we knew she was suicidal. Like we made a mistake and didn't. This is pissing me off because I'm reading this right here and I'm like, her mother's fucking, she's a coon and she's whack and she's knocked the fuck out. Like, I've seen Trayvon Martin's mother and this woman, like, it's like I've just seen these women. This is a different generation. Their generation does not care about Black preservation. Like, my parents never taught me about white supremacy, racism, none of that. I didn't even know white supremacy was a real thing until I was like in my 20s. And I think Sandra Bland's mother and Trayvon's mom have said it, you know, at different times, that they both were not really about that life when it came to marching for Black people and protesting and fighting for Black lives, even though before their children were murdered, there were other incidents happening around America that needed to be paid attention to. Or they could at least been just doing their part in buying at Black businesses, making sure they support Black owned businesses, making sure they're educating their children about things. They don't do that. That generation for some just doesn't do that. So Sandra Bland's family has reached a $1.9 million settlement in a wrongful death lawsuit, an agreement that has brought joy after a year of grief, Bland's mother said. And that's the thing, Black folks, they love some money, don't they? They'll throw you under the bus all day for some money. Oh no. My whole video, I've been looking at the wrong damn. Okay, let me pull this over. Sorry, guys. Oh my goodness. So I had to figure out how I'm going to adjust that. But yeah, so they said she's brought joy after a year of grief, Bland's mother. The settlement includes compensation for Bland's death and custody, as well as several changes to jail procedures. In Walter County, Texas, Bland was found dead in her jail cell 3 days after she was pulled over for failing to use her turn signal in July 2015. Bland family attorney Cannon Lambert said the jail procedure changes include using automatic electronic sensors to ensure timely cell checks, providing an off-duty staff nurse or emergency medical technician for all shifts, providing continuing education for jailer screening. Larry Simmons, an attorney for Waller County, said in a statement that both sides still needed to iron out the final details of the settlement, which were supposed to remain confidential until after it was finalized. As of now, Simmons said the settlement had yet to be completed and still required approval from the Waller County Commission's Court. Nevertheless, Bland's mother, Geneva Reed Vale, said the settlement is a clear victory. Right now, my emotion is joy, pure joy, she told. There's a sense of God's justice for me. For you? What about your daughter? Selfish bitch. So we're going to go over the controversial arrest. Bland's death sparked outrage from those who said she never should have been arrested in the first place. Protesters said her arrest after failing to use a turn signal showed bias and excessive use of force by police against African Americans. Dashcam video shows the encounter Bland had with Texas State Trooper Brian Encina started as a Encina, I don't know how to pronounce his name, started as a normal conversation but grew tense after Encina asked her to put out her cigarette. I'm in my car. Why did I have to put out my cigarette? Bland said. You can step out now. And Cindy replied, I really can't go through this because it really bothers me. Like, basically what happened, though, was that the officer was being too aggressive with her, as they always are with Black people. And next thing you know, he's handcuffing her. It's like you could tell that he was provoking her so that she would talk back or whatever. Because they know Black women are known for our attitudes, of course, right? That wonderful stereotype that we're the only ones with attitude. Because I've seen white women go off on cops as well, and Asians and everyone else, and they're not dead. So he arrests her, and then before we know it, I mean, she was only in jail, I want to say 2 days, and then she was dead. Like, really? Like, what transpired? Like, she went from coming to Texas to start a new job to being dead in a jail cell in like a matter of days. And her mom is talking about pure joy over some money. And how it's justice for her. You didn't die. What justice do you need? Like, I was in there playing haunts their asses for life. I hope they don't even get the damn money. Like, I'm just sick of black coons. All right, guys. So I am ending the segment now. It is coming up on 20 minutes. I will talk to you guys soon. I have to go eat breakfast. I'm starving. I'm weak and I'm tired, but this was just topics I really wanted to speak on. So until I see you guys again, take care of yourselves and each other. Peace, love, and light. I'm out.